My name is Angela Dina, and my family's world changed on May 30th, 2012. Our then 4-year-old son, Charlie, had a tummy ache for a series of a few days, and what I can only tell you were God-led events led us to the Texas Children's Emergency Room near our home. That very day, we received Charlie's diagnosis. However, it was nothing we could prepare for. Stage 4, high-risk neuroblastoma. Charlie was given a 50% chance of survival. The life we knew was changing forever.
The depth of despair that you can be in that time, and the question and the doubt and all of the feelings, there is nothing like the feeling of hearing that somebody survived it. And so if Charlie and our family story, if we can be the somebody that survives it to make it better for all of the children that are battling, then I can feel good about what he has walked through and what we have walked through to get there.
Unless you've lived in this world, you don't know about it. And we want to change that significantly. And that's really what we want to do. And that's the premise of what we're all about. We're about presenting in a bold way and telling the story of this voiceless youth that can't articulate these stories for their families that can't do that.
Dr. Laura Ellingson of Santa Clara University wrote about survivorship and shifting the narrative from this idea of happily ever after, really, to realistically ever after.
Both children and adults who survive cancer, the majority of them live with what are called late effects of their treatment, meaning that they have permanent chronic illnesses and conditions that are a result of the chemotherapy and the radiation and the surgery and medications and other treatments that they had that saved them from the cancer. So it is a triumphant success when people survive after cancer, but there is no happily ever after. What we need is a realistically ever after.
Oh, wow. That sounds super cool.
When I really began to think most about these long-term late effects, we had the opportunity at the Coalition Against Childhood Cancer meeting a couple of years ago to meet a doctor and childhood cancer survivor, Dr. Greg Awney. What was compelling about his talk was that surviving his own childhood cancer in his late teens thrust him into a situation where he was pretty immediately having very severe late effects. That really helped form a focus in our organization, Turn It Gold, in terms of where we wanted to give research dollars, that we really wanted to begin this investment in this long-term survivor late effect world by which we might have a greater increase in survivorship, but it's still at the hands of the toxic and archaic chemo drugs that we've been giving these children for the last 20 or 30 years.
It's so impactful that September would be the choice for Pediatric Cancer Month, because it's really a kickoff. It's a starting point for children in their elementary schools and junior highs and high schools, and it's a return to normal. You know, it's fall season, it's football kickoff, and September really is the starting point of all of that.
One thing that brought you to Athens, Ohio, this weekend is your platform of athletic activism. So I'm hoping that you all can talk to us a little bit about how partnering with athletics is a key to the way that you want to engage a public.
Yeah, absolutely. I think athletic activism is going to be so important in what we're doing to make this a nationwide movement. Athletes have an incredible amount of power in how they can relay messages. We love to watch athletes, their bravery, their commitment, their strength. We think that very much talks to a cancer patient. We have to make this a nationwide movement and a big splash, and we believe athletics is a way to do that. As far as athletic activism, we talked about, what is that? And we talked about being the action of many or the action of one. And the action of many would be leading your team to take that bold stance, but also the action of one united together who inspire many. And we think that was profound, that it really could be a team or a single athlete.
At Clemson, we got the great opportunity to meet Coach Kathy Becker, whose son Colt is currently battling neuroblastoma. And it was such a beautiful thing to see the camaraderie and community in support of that little boy on the basketball court that day. We were able to honor him and his family by giving Colt a Bravery Award. And it was really a beautiful thing to witness.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and recognize Colt, his parents, Kathy and Pete, and his brother, Paxton.
One of our charges as educators, especially at the college level, is to try to prepare our players for life and to try to prepare our players for the good things in life, but also for some of the tough things in life.
It's just such a cool thing for our team, and I think it just brings a greater perspective, and it'll just give us that extra push and that extra motivation, because we know what these kids are going through. We have seen it, and it's such a horrible thing to know that kids have to go through this, and we know that they're fighting every single day for their lives, and so we're going to fight just as hard on this field in honor of all those kids.
It was such an amazing journey in Athens, Ohio, and at Ohio University to see not only what the university was able to do, but really the surrounding community. Over 40 businesses agreed to turn it gold. Everybody wanted to help, and in their own way, in their own unique way, they were able to turn it gold, just to show you that you can do something.
There is no small way to step up. There's just not anything that you can do, whether it's wearing a ribbon, talking to somebody about it, putting stickers on coffee cups. We're so thankful that people are listening, that they want to do something, that they want to help, because every single thing that somebody does, it helps. It makes a difference in what we're doing.
It's so translatable. We know that what's happening at a coffee shop here in Athens can happen at a coffee shop in Houston, Texas, can happen all over the country. And I think modeling that is so key for the rest of the country to see, you can do this too. You can light the building on your campus. You can hand out flyers. You can spread the word. You can fundraise. And these children are worth doing it.
Our daughter Caroline had a 6-word memoir that she came up with, and I think it's so beautiful, and that's, it's okay to not be okay.
I just feel like as I've grown up that it's okay for you to have a bad day. It's okay to have a hardship, or to feel like the world is ending, or to feel just not okay in general. I've had those days, and it's those days that make you look forward to being happy again.
And I think that so beautifully folds in the thought of realistically ever after, because I think until we acknowledge that we're not okay, that the drugs aren't okay, that the process isn't okay, and that it isn't okay to lose a huge percentage of these children to childhood cancer every year. It isn't okay to send these survivors out in the world with these terribly horrific, sometimes life-threatening and life-ending late effects. If we can't acknowledge that it's not okay, we can't make a good decision and a bold decision to take the next step and do the next best thing and invest in these kids and raise funding for research for childhood cancer.